Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a super quick, I promise, I ain't gonna hold you long, review for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1, Episode 3, Play the Game. And yeah, I mean it's becoming more and more apparent just how thrown together this whole episode. I don't know what the rest of the season is going to be like, but if it's going to be anything like this episode, it's going to be rushed, it's going to be convoluted, and it's going to be thrown together. And I mean, I stopped taking notes. Like at some point I was like, what is the point? Like, what's the point in trying to be detail oriented? Like, it's just going to frustrate us all the more, right? And for those of you who watch this show like on demand or through the Starz app, you know, after the show there's like after show conversation, which I typically don't watch because I feel like it kind of gives you spoilers, and those spoilers or it gives you insight into the episode. And the young lady that writes, I think her name is Courtney, that writes for the show or is the producer, she just gives you some conversation about the episode and kind of opens it up a little bit. I tend to not watch that before I do my review, because I just want my review to be pure. But you guys, I happen to be getting ready to do this video and that portion came on, this like after the show commentary came on. And I was like, bullshit. Like you're trying to explain to us what the dichotomy is, but it's bullcrap. Like what you're saying doesn't make any sense, and it's like you're trying to explain the bad writing, and let's get into this episode. Anyway, let's talk about Tasha and them first, okay? Tasha has decided to make a move with this Plan B pill. She gives it to the lady. The whole time she's under surveillance from a dude in there is watching her from Lorenzo's camp. Now, Lorenzo is Monet's husband, who was supposed to be this drug kingpin, and now he's in federal prison. So, okay. Tasha is in federal prison with drug kingpins, and this guy's pretty much, he's like the godfather in jail or whatever. He's got beer, he's got cell phones, he tells people what to do, like he's basically running the prison. Anywho, he's got a guy watching Tasha. Now, she makes a move, gives this chick who needs the Plan B pill, gives her the pill, and, tries to kind of negotiate a little bit about, can you be my friend? Like, look out for her. The lady wants to know, why you need me as a friend? You're just here until you go through trial, and then you out. Like, this just a way station for you, basically. And she was like, well, nah, I need a friend in here. We don't learn why. This is the only moment where we see Tasha execute in this sort of streetish way. Up until this point, she's been like a scared little rabbit. And she pretty much goes right back into scared rabbit mode when she talks to her attorney, and they are upset because they were blindsided basically by Blanca's testimony and what Stacks had on her. And he and Paula, Davis and Paula, are quizzing her about it, and she's like, don't worry about all that, don't worry about all that, just put me on the stand. I promise you I can talk my way out of anything. If you just put me on the stand, I will convince the jury that I am completely innocent, and I will get us all out of this just on my wits alone. Okay, so he goes through the trouble of setting up not one but two mock trials. The first trial, she does beautifully in this mock trial. They get her dressed up, get her hair done. Like, it was a useless waste of time to take us through watching her get makeup on and watching her get made up and get her suit on and stuff. Like, I was just like, why are we doing this? Why is we wasting film and good coronavirus time on this? Like, what is we doing? Right? Goes through the mock trial. She paying all of the people in there by the hour, right? The whole jury and the judge by the hour. This coming out of her money, out of the money that Tariq is hustling for on the street to pay Davis. She thinks she does beautifully. You know, she gives them the baby doe eyes and I was just completely innocent through this whole thing. And she feels good about how she did. And she was like, yeah, I sold it. Right? But then there's mock trial 2. Mock trial 2, they bring in Benson and Hedges. Okay, old Tamika to come in and do the cross-examination. Okay? And of course, she eats her liver with fava beans, okay? Basically, she runs roughshod over Tasha, and anything she had to say, any of her excuses, like bada bing, bada boom, you're not gonna be able to do it. Under good cross, which Stacks is supposed to be good, I guess, in cross, the mock jury comes back, all 12 of them, guilty, guilty, guilty. All right. She fails miserably. She feels bad about it. She doesn't know what she's going to do. Okay. Meanwhile, Davis goes back and forth with Tamika about getting her advice. What do you think I should do? Like how should I move? And she was like, you better get yourself together, because this chick is going to jail. What I would do is I would drop her all together, because she gonna drag you and your good name down with her, right? And Paula, his assistant, agrees. But instead, he challenges Tamika to join the team. We're going to be this African-American duo, okay? And we're going to take the justice system by storm. We'll be stars in this whole situation, like, right, heroes, right? And she is like, are you crazy? I can't do that. So he brings up the fact that he found out, Paula, the investigator, found out that Stacks is the one that signed this waiver to give her permission to represent Tasha, right? And she was like, how did you know that? Oh, Paula found it. And in this moment, he realizes that the whole case is not about Tasha. It ain't about James. It ain't about being king or queen pins. It's about Stacks. And Stacks being guilty of something. Stacks being unethical, unsavory. You know what I'm saying? And this is the case that he's going to take up. Now, it's supposed to help Tasha get off, so Tariq has still got to pay for it. But it seems like to me, Davis got to be in his bonnet now for Stacks. Tamika turns him down, and I'll be glad. I'll look forward to receiving your check in the mail. I was like, Tamika looked good, though. Tamika looked good. She looked good. She looked good. And I like them units that her and Tasha both wore. So let me just say that. Later on, we see where Tasha calls Tariq on the burner phone. And Tariq is at his dorm room, him and Zeke's dorm room, and he talking to Monet. We're going to talk about that. But she begs him. You've got to do something. Give him whatever he wants. Oh, no pressure, Tasha. We don't want to pressure Tariq at all, right? I mean, you just want him to go to school and you going to handle everything. So why is you calling Tariq? And in this crybaby, well, you got to do something. Give him whatever he wants. You've got to get me out of here. This trial thing. I was like, girl, he barely out of high school. I mean, come on. Are you serious? Are you serious? This how we writing Tasha? They said James in jail. James was running jail. James was running jail. Tasha in jail, and she is just as scared as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, and he's like, don't worry, mama, I got you. Meanwhile, Lorenzo, like I said, had her under surveillance. He been listening to Monet on the outside, and Monet called him and told him the situation between her and Tariq, and he calls Tasha and tells Tasha that her son is gonna be working with his wife, and if he mess up, they gonna kill him. They gonna kill him. So you best to keep your son up on game and on the straight and narrow. All right. So that's basically Tasha, Davis, Tamika, Paula, Sax, all of that. Now, let's talk about Tariq. Tariq is steady playing the antagonist in class. Okay, he comes in, he is supposed to go along to get along in this class. You know what the teachers want to hear. And instead of him doing that, he's calling the dude out. He's calling the main character in the story, whatever book they're reading, he's got a challenge for it. Like I said, he's playing the antagonist. He is going to debate every traditional thought, that is put forth for each book. He's going to debate it. He's going to challenge. He's the rebel, right? This is how they're writing Tariq's character. He's supposed to be this internally deep, intellectual, profound, revolutionary type thinker, right? He's in class, and the white dude is teaching the class, and the black dude, the one that's sleeping with Milgram, he's standing off to the side, kind of sort of listening, and nobody's supposed to see him. He just listening in on the situation. Whatever. And Tariq goes toe to toe with the white dude about it. Later on, Lauren, his classmate, tells him, you gotta just do what you gotta do to get through this class. Like, tell them what they want to hear. And Tariq is like, cool. So when he writes the paper, turns the paper in, the black dude, I forget what his name is, start with an M, but anyway, he grades the paper, no credit, right? And Tariq goes to see him. He's like, what do you mean? Why are you giving me no credit on this situation? Like, I don't understand. And he was like, that's because I heard how you challenged the professor. And as a black man, we have to continue to always challenge, right? In order to make our mark here, we can't just go along to get along, because they don't really want us here anyway. They just tolerating us. I was like, bull, crap. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we trying to get this pseudo deep storyline? Why is we doing this? We know it's not going nowhere. These are all filler characters. They don't mean anything. We don't need to have no investment in any of these characters. And I feel like I misexplained myself last week, or I just didn't explain myself enough. When I talk about filler characters, it's kind of like the chick that heard James's voice when he shot her boyfriend. Like, we just kept bringing that back up like it was a place marker for something, and it wasn't. None of that ever came to fruition. Like, it was just a smoke and mirrors. That's what this Milgram and the professors and everything that they got going on. We see the professor later where he calling Milgram on the phone. This when Tariq come in to sort of challenge him. He want Tariq to he said the grade's gonna stand. He's not gonna let it go. He's calling after Milgram. He's trying to prove a point to Tariq. It's coming across a little bit machismo, like my dick is bigger than your dick, like, that type of thing. Tariq, you're dismissed, you know what I'm saying? Then later on, we see the same dude, even though he calling after Milgram and trying to hold Tariq to this ethical standard, a way of being and acting that you here on this college campus. He got a young girl that's his student, a grad student, they say. and they screwing in the office. Now Milgram done slipped in. She in her office and she can hear what's going on. Jazz music playing to the gods, but you trying to act like, oh, I don't want to sleep with you, young lady. You're my student. Why you got jazz playing? Why the lights low? Why she in here with her legs crossed on your sofa? Like, yeah, that's what y'all did. Y'all about to do. Like, okay, this is what it is. But you gonna write it like he's trying to resist it. That's fine. He don't let the lady go. Pop the titties out. That's, standard form. Let's show a set of titties and then flip it around and then hunch, hunch, hunch. And then Milgram is hearing it in the other side, and she gets her laptop and a handbag and she leaves because she don't want to hear him screwing right next door to her. Filler, filler, filler. What do any of these people have to do with anything except they're going to be there when Tariq decides that he's going to end up blackmailing this guy. He's going to end up blackmailing this black professor who's giving him a hard time, who's trying to mentor him and show him the right way to do the wrong thing. He's just gonna end up blackmailing him and pulling a ghost on him. Like this is what it is. The one of them gonna end up dead at some point in this season, the honorary dead person. So that's Tariq in school. Meanwhile, Tariq, the drug dealer, he's working with Braden again. He got that little bit of money, but he don't have no more product. He need Braden to help him get that product. Well, Braden goes to the doctor, and when he goes to the doctor, he steals a number of sheets out of the doctor's script pad. Now, y'all know white kids can get away with a lot more than black kids can. So he's got access to quite a bit of stuff. And so he steals these couple of pages. He knows how to write a script because his sister was on Adderall. And so he knows all the codes and stuff for the drugs and all of that. And he writes the script, and they get enough drugs and they sell it within like hours. He's got Braden, running with him now. I've already said you can't trust Braden. But okay. Anywho, it's still not enough. Like, he need more product in order to keep the money coming in, because Davis is constantly asking for more money. Also, he got to stay up on Zeke, because Zeke is like, I got somebody to do all my work and everything for me. I don't have to really think. My Aunt Monet handles everything on the personal end. Tariq is handling everything on the education end. I don't have to do nothing I don't want to do except play games all day and trick off on these hoes. So Tariq is like, you got to help me out. Like, I thought you was really busy and you didn't have time. He's like, but you just sitting around playing games. I need you to get up on this schoolwork. He's not letting him know when his papers and stuff are due on time, and it's running Tariq, putting his back up against the wall because he got his own work to do. And he was like, I owe you one. He was like, well, if you owe me one, let me talk to your Aunt Monet. I want to ask her for permission to date Diana. And he was like, nah, my aunt don't let, my aunt don't let Diana date. 1 and 2, she said we need to keep family and school business separate, and you school, so no. So when he finds out that Zeke is just kind of tricking off, he wants to make sure he makes it clear to Zeke that, no, I need to talk to your Aunt Monet. This is the favor you really owe me, because if I flunk out, you flunk out, we all flunk out, right? Now, Aunt Monet is okay with this, because she and Diana have gone to a game that they thought Zeke was playing in after his suspension, but he's still not up off of that suspension yet. And instead of playing, they want him to do like a little press conference. And basically, they want him to just be humble and apologize and encourage the people to wait a little bit longer for him to get off of this probation and to get back to playing. But what does he do? Takes his penis out, boom, throws it on the table in front of all of the press and everything. It's no problem. I'll be back playing next game. How you gonna promise that? How you gonna promise that? That's not what we talked about. Aunt Monet is just bigging up. Yeah, that's right, baby. You're going to be back next game. Aunt Monet, you don't know what the hell you talking about. And neither does Zeke. You know what I'm saying? He another cocky, self-assured individual who you cocky and you're self-assured off of other people's merits, off of other people's sweat, off of other people's hard work. You ain't got no hard work that you need to be that proud of, sir. Take it down a notch. Be humble. Sit down. Ooh, it gets on my nerves. It gets on my nerves, these young people nowadays. They get on my nerves. Anyway, so because of this, everything that's going on, Zeke tricks Aunt Monet to come down and talk to Tariq. And Tariq says, he shows her the bag of money he's already earned. He told her the time frame he earned it in. He said, I know you getting money, but can you get money this fast? These kids got nothing but money and time. All they do is do drugs, party, and study. And she was like, you talking to the wrong person about drugs. I don't know nothing about no drugs. And he was like, come on now, for real though. I need this. I need product. This is what I need. And I'm going to sell it. I need you to work with me on this because I got to get this money up and help my mom. And she was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit later about it. Now, she ain't finna say nothing right here and right there because she don't really know what's what. Like, she don't really trust Tariq. She already done told Diana on the way to the game when Diana said, I want to go to school. She was like, you ain't going to school. You're going to be a drug dealer. Okay? Like your mama and your daddy. Okay? Who tells their child they ain't going to school because we want you to be in illegal activities? Who does that? I want you to be out here tricking off on these ninjas. You know what I'm saying? Hustling on your back. You know what I'm saying? Like dodging the police. Don't go to school and get your education. I was like, what kind of bull crap is this? That hair that Mary J. Blige wore in this episode, I was like, girl, you best to give us Auburn. You best to give it. Straight Auburn, honey. Like Cher, baby. Like floating. Beautiful. And Diana, this is what she told her. She's like, oh, no, you can't go to school. You're going to have to learn how to run this game. You're going to have to learn how to play this game, right? At the same time, she want to protect Zeke. Okay, so when she talked to Tariq and agree that they're going to talk a little bit later, meaning we're going to get this thing popping, but we can't talk about it right here and right now. She said, you cannot do it from here. You got to move out of here because I don't want Zeke nowhere near this. So Zeke is the true golden child. When he your nephew, the child you gave birth to out of your own womb, huh? You selling them down the river in a drug game? Girl, goodbye. Anyway, go on. Let's talk about Monet and them. Like I said, Tariq think he got it all figured out. You know what I'm saying? He in over his head. Okay, he gonna end up mollywopped and on lean and kidnapped like he was 3 seasons ago. Okay, so basically, Kane and Drew are the pickup boys. They go around and pick up all the money that is owed to the family for whatever reason. And Kane is the muscle. Drew, I guess, is a little bit more tenderhearted, they think, a little bit more softer. Lorenzo, Monet's husband, who is in jail, who is the true kingpin, he feel like she coddles Drew too much. And Kane is a hot-headed, unpredictable. She rely on him too much. And Diana, he feels like she should go to school. Now, this is at Diana's suggestion because Diana done got her own burner phone. Now, you teach a child a game, but then you get mad when she used that game to run it against you. Anyway, so there's this group, GTG, which is like an offshoot group, who the dude that run GTG, his daddy took a bullet for Lorenzo. So technically, since he owe his daddy, he take care of the son. Well, the son is on social media with the drugs and the money, and the cops is watching it. And Diana sees it on social media. She tells Kane and Drew and Monet, and Monet is like, oh, this can't, they messing up our money, we can't have this, right? And so she goes to call Lorenzo. Lorenzo tells her, no, you can't, because his daddy took a bullet. What I want you to do, instead of sending Kane, because it's going to blow up like in a real crazy way, send Drew. Well, Drew not ready for that. Drew don't do that. I don't want, he said, what did I say? Send Drew. So they send Drew. Drew is a little bit more intellectual. I think Drew has it in him in one way or another. He's just not ever able to come to that point without Monet or Kane jumping in and interfering. And that's what happens. The dude shows Drew zero respect, and he's with the plaits, the part down the center and the plaits, they look like they need a cap full of bleach in they bath water. Them dudes that always look a little dirty, a little grimy, like they smell like sour milk. I don't see how y'all girls lay up under these dudes. I just don't see it. Like, they look dirty to me. But anyway, they don't show Drew no respect. The guy goes to film. He said, we'll cut down on the social media because it's messing up our money. You're disrespectful out his mouth about Monet, Drew's mama. And then he was like, yeah, I'm going to cut down on it. And meanwhile, he going live presently. And he go to show Drew, and Drew slapped the phone down before he's able to be seen. And then you slap my phone down, and he stand up, and Drew stand up, and Drew got a gun, and he go. Well, she had sent Kane to shadow Drew to make sure Drew was okay when he went to talk to GTG, right? And so Kane show up, and he was like, is there a problem? And the GTG was like, no, there's no problem, because Kane's supposed to be like this menacing, like, ticking time bomb type thing. He's supposed to be like Pope. If y'all watch Animal Kingdom, he's supposed to be like the Pope, right? Like, he's crazy, you know what I'm saying? He's psychopathic. No, nobody cross him. Right, they don't know what he gonna do, when he gonna do it, right? I'm not buying it. But okay. Meanwhile, Drew take the dude phone. Was like, I'm taking this phone, and hopefully you've learned your lesson. Now, he walks on out, and Kane, tow, shoots up the ceiling. Everybody get low. They go outside, and the police are there because the police been watching online, and now there's been shots fired. It just so happens that one of the police was Ramirez, the dude that's sleeping with Monet. And so after a quick little police chase, he leads his partner off so that Kane and Drew can get away. All right. And then he goes and talks to Monet. We can't keep doing this. I can't keep protecting you. You've got to get out of the game. And she was like, it's not an option. I want you out of the game, Monet. It's not an option. Tell you what, I'm going to give you some really, really super dry, fake, awkward kisses. We're going to pretend to sleep together, and you're going to forget about all of this, okay? And he's like, okay. Meanwhile, she getting a text from Lorenzo to say, come see me the next day, right? Because after her conversation with Diana telling her she can't go to school, she gonna have to instead run game, Diana called her daddy on a secret burner phone to get him to talk to Monet about going to school. All right. So then Monet goes, after she gets out of bed with Ramirez, she goes and soaks in a tub full of Epsom salt and apple cider vinegar to tighten everything up. She's back in the sleeping game with Lorenzo. So we open up with them in the bed together, and she is just mindlessly rubbing up and down this dude's shoulder. The acting from Method Man and Mary J. Blige is so off. Like, it's overdone. It's underplayed when it should be overplayed, and it's overplayed when it should be underplayed. Like, it's never just square on right. Like, it's off. Now, I don't remember if she mentioned Tariq, but she does mention the GTG and how it all popped off, and Kane and the shooting up and the police, and he's like, well, you sent Drew. You should have sent Drew. Why did you send Kane with him? And Kane is not, Drew is not ready to handle this. And I said he was. You disobeyed me, this Lorenzo. And you don't need to be keeping Diana from school. And I want Diana to go to school. And Kane is too unpredictable. I'm like, is Kane your son? Is Kane your son? Because I don't think he treating Kane like Kane his son. He treat Diana and Drew like they his, but he don't treat Kane like that's his son. Like, maybe I missed it, but okay. Anyway, she knows that Diana's got a burner phone. She asked Diana, and she's supposed to be like this menacing, like, I'm gonna ask you one question and you better not lie to me. The girl lies straight up and down. Then there's this awkward scene where where is it? I know you got it. And she goes and she digs through everything, and then it's not in her bag, and she roughs the girl up and gets the phone and takes it and throws it down and stomps on it and breaks the phone. Don't lie to me again. I was just like, where did that come from? How did you know I had the burner phone? Don't worry about it. I don't even know. Like, what is we doing? Like, was something cut out or spliced in? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. So then we see where she goes to the game. She snubs Tariq because Tariq is waiting outside of the venue, the game venue, to try to ride in and sit with them. You know what I'm saying? This what he do. He's skulking and trying to run this game, and she's shooting him down and she's snubbing him. And Diana is pulling him to the side and telling him little tidbits about what's going on with the family, all of this, that, and the other. And she does agree to work with him. But then what Monet does is she talks to Lorenzo, which is why he called over to Tasha. And she says, she told Diana, she said, everybody that gets involved with this dude is end up dead or in jail. I was like, it's so weird that they don't mention Ghost. Like, he was such a huge figure, or Tommy. Like, it's so weird that it's supposed to be autonomous from these people. And this whole season kind of looks like it's about all of the auxiliary characters from the original Power. But no one's afraid of Tommy. No one's, it's odd. It's odd. It's odd. It's definitely odd. Tariq moves into Braden's dorm room, and that was his daddy's dorm room back in the day, so he knows all the secret hiding spots and all of that. And Tariq is just sort of falling into all of this. And I'm just like, Tariq, it's not about the smoke, it's about the fire. Like, pay attention to what you doing and how you moving. Like, sometimes my mama used to say, you so smart, you dumb. Like, you so smart, you stupid. Basically, you don't have no common sense. Like, you missing it with this Braden, with this Zeke, with this Monet. But this is how you build a show, I guess. But that's it. That is Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1 Episode 3 Play the Game. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Like, all that time we spent with the mock trial, I just didn't feel like that was a good use of time. And writing the whole thing with the professor. Like, what is we doing? Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Ah, holla.